Hello guys, welcome to AWS Master Course series. In this series, we are going to talk about many advanced content in AWS and other certification related details. By learning this course, what are the certification you will able to clear? Those information we are going to talk. So let me give the quick introduction about the trainer, about myself. My name Hari. Basically, I locate in India. So professionally, right, I have close to 12 years of career experience across multi-cloud. Basically, I'm a multi-cloud architect. I used to work on AWS, Azure, GCP, containerization part, right? I used to work on the Kubernetes and I worked almost all the DevOps starting from version control, infrastructure as a code, CI/CD pipelines, okay, end to end, right? I have a great exposure in terms of architecturing, automation, all those things. So personally, right, I used to a very energetic person. I used to spend my free time on gym. I used to watch movies. I used to play cricket. These are my personal hobbies. So with respect to the training experience, so as I said, 12 years I have a working experience. With respect to the training experience, right, I have close to 8 years of training experience. I used to take corporate trainings, individual training during my free time. Okay, so this is the quick intro about me because you're gonna continue this journey with me for next 40 to 50 hours in this playlist. That's why I'm giving you the small introduction about. Okay, so fine. So how this course has been designed? So in this AWS master course, we have a various category called advanced module. Okay, basic module, intermediate module, something like that. So in this series, you will be getting the end-to-end all the close to AWS services. In that specifically, we are going to target for 3 to 4 certifications from AWS Global certification. So first one is foundation level. We have a certification called AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner. By learning the basic module of this course, right, you would be able to clear the AWS Cloud Certified Practitioner examination. By learning the deep dive about the intermediate and the advanced module of this course, you would be able to complete any one of certification, something like associate level, certified solution architect associate, or developer associate, or sysops administrator associate. Okay, so this course we have specifically designed in such a way where it will be useful for all the audience whoever fall under this any type of certificate. That's how we made it. So not only the certification area we are focusing. By learning this course, right, you guys will be familiarized with real-time project use case. Okay. In each and every services, we included the live project scenario, POCs, and use cases. You're gonna learn about each and every real project, day-to-day task in every cloud, and that will be a added benefit and added bonus for the people who watch this videos. Okay, now I'll quickly go through the syllabus. Here is the link basically. So when you go through the link, right, I'm gonna share the information about advanced module, because when you know about the advanced module, right, by default you will come to know about the basic and intermediate thing. So better I'll explain what are the topics and what are the different AWS services we are going to target throughout this journey. Okay? Next to 50 hours, what are the different journey you're gonna follow with me? That's what we're gonna see now. Okay, let me quickly switch my things to syllabus area. Yeah, you should be able to see the full course AWS advanced module. Okay, we are starting from the scratch. So this course has been designed in such a way, even people who completely new to AWS, they will be able to understand the prerequisites, then they can start focus on the particular. Okay, that's how we have defined and designed this particular course. More than that, right, I am very happy to share that the people, there is no prerequisites to be learning the AWS, because all the prerequisites are covered by default over. That is the reason, right, we are starting from what is cloud computing, how earlier before the cloud computing comes, how was with the on-premises, how on-premises comparing with the cloud computing AWS, okay, and what other competitor available for AWS like Azure. So those things we're gonna learn, and the AWS introduction and account create. AWS helping us to create 1 year free tier account. In this next upcoming videos, I'm gonna show you how these accounts are being created, how can we utilize it, 1 year free tier account, how we can utilize all those things. We cannot. In AWS itself, we have a service called IAM, Identity and Access Management. We are going to talk about how the application and authorization takes place in AWS. Those stuff, right, we'll be discussing in the section. Here we are going deep dive into EC2, Elastic Compute Cloud. How can we create a new server in AWS? How these volumes are created and mapped to EC2 instances. Okay, how the web application can be created in AWS. In which all the way we can cut down the cost for EC2 server. Those virtualized server, all those, right, we are going to discuss about in EC2 section. Apart from that, we have a many something called we are going to in the networking in deep dive, cloud networking, how it works, what does mean by VPC, virtual private cloud, what does mean by subnet, route table, internet gateway, NAT gateway. So all those important and advanced concepts, right, we are going to talk about, and how we can, cut down the cost, how we can track the bill in AWS. Is there any, unnecessary money taken from your free tier account, or your free tier account got suspended, whatever reason? How can we ensure the better solution, and how to cut down your cost, how to see the monthly bill, all those things we're gonna discuss. Then we can go start discuss about the how the classic and application load balancer works, how the network load balancer works. Then we're gonna talk about auto scaling, how the auto scaling launch configuration works. Then we predominantly gonna discuss about S3 and how AWS CLI works, KMS based encryption, default key encryption, custom encryption, how it works, how the online storage works. All those things we're gonna discuss about it. And the CloudFront CDN. So when you deployed your application in S3, any web application, how can we expose it using content delivery network? That we're gonna discuss about in the CloudFront. Then we're gonna discuss about EFS, Elastic File Share, all those things. Then predominantly we'll have a more than 2 to 3 sessions on how the database things are works in AWS, RDS, relational database service, NoSQL database how it works, SQL database how it works, the comparison between these two, read replica, subnet placement group, all those things, right? We're gonna discuss about here. And Elastic Beanstalk, when you have application, how can we ensure the caching functionality of the application, and the microservices and Docker and ECS, how the Docker work, how we can provision your containers in the ECS as a task. So those things we're gonna discuss. Glue and Athena, the Amazon Kinesis, Route 53 routing policy. So all those things also be part of our session. Followed by, right, we're gonna discuss about how the serverless works in AWS, what are the different serverless concepts available in AWS, especially API gateway, how it functions, how can we integrate with other internal AWS service like Lambda. Those things we're gonna discuss. Amazon Elastic Cache and Memory Cache, AWS config and the CloudWatch. So using AWS config, we can monitor the existing changes in your resource level, and using CloudWatch, you would able to set up a dashboard. You can create an alarm, you can see the log group. Those things we're gonna talk. Using SQS, we can manage our queuing service, and Amazon Redshift and Redshift cluster. How can we work with Redshift? What are the use of Redshift? Okay, those things we're gonna talk, and we have a small discussion about data lake. Okay? So obviously we'll not go in depth about data lake because we have separate course available for data engineering. But here we're gonna talk about the data lake alone in the introduction. How the AWS Lambda works. This is also one of the serverless service only. And talking more about Lambda will be helping for us to ensure many key capabilities of running any existing resource based automation. And we're gonna discuss about app sync. We are gonna talk about step functions. We have certain drawbacks available with Lambda. So those things gonna be addressed in the step function. And AWS itself, we have a DMS service, database migration service. We have a database located in your on-prem. How can we migrate without any data loss to AWS? Those things we're going to learn. And the security perspective, right? We are going to learn about AWS Shield and AWS Guard Duty. This will ensure our cloud security. Okay. And is there any anomaly? It will detect and let us know. Amazon Detective also one of the default AWS security tool. We're going to talk about it. And AWS organization. If you go any organization today, any projects, you will be having minimum 10 to 20 different 100, 200 AWS accounts are there. Without organization, it's hard to manage all the individual AWS accounts. So we're going to talk more about it, and we are going to discuss about EKS, Elastic Kubernetes Service. How can we create a cluster? How can we manage those cluster? Those part, right? We are going to discuss pod versus deploy. So in the cluster, right, we're going to discuss about how can we deploy the services, and Kubernetes service, how it's going to differ. So all these concepts, right, we are going to talk in terms of Kubernetes advanced module. It's going to be, almost 50 hours of course, approximately it would be. Yeah, yes, I agree. Plus or minus, 5 hours will be there. But this is what the predominant thing. By learning this, right, you should be able to ensure specific smooth, learning experience with multiple different AWS certification. Okay. With that, right, this is the time to say thank you to all. So we'll meet you on upcoming video. Okay.